What is going on, you guys? Anthony here, bringing you another video here on a very hot Friday morning. It's about 91 degrees out here and it's only 11:30 in the morning, so it's definitely gonna be a hot one today. So before it gets too hot outside, I figured I'm gonna run to the grocery store, take care of a few things, and I wanna take the F-body because we need some F-body content here on this channel. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and jump in the Camaro and head that way. And what the hell? Why isn't my key working? So actually it's not working because that key is for this car here, my other F-body. So this is actually a video that I've been wanting to make for quite a while because this car here, my 2000 Pontiac Trans Am, this is not actually a new car to me. This is actually my very first car that I've ever had. I got this car January 6th of 2013, and this is what I drove in high school. Over the last 13 years, I've done literally everything to this car. It's been painted, it's been motor swapped, the interior's been redone, everything's been redone on this car. And I know many of you are probably wondering, if I've had this car for so long, why hasn't it been on the channel yet? And it's honestly a very stupid answer to that question. I went to back it out of the garage one day and I heard something scraping, and at first it kind of scared me because I thought that I had scraped maybe the side of the garage and maybe potentially messed up the paint. But it wasn't that. It was actually my X-pipe. It came unscrewed, or came unbolted rather, and it was scraping the ground. So I pulled the car back in the garage and I kind of just let it sit, which I do regret doing that, but I was getting busy with other projects like the Camaro and whatnot. So unfortunately, I let the car sit. And like I said, I do regret that. But one day I just decided to go ahead, bolt that X-pipe right back on, put a new battery in it, and boom, she's back. So she started right up and is running good as ever. So I'll go ahead and start with the exterior here. So this car actually started off life as a V6 Firebird. It was my first car, so it was really cool at the time, the V6, and it wasn't fast at all by any means, but I did a few little modifications. I did cold air intake, which is the air lid for the V6. I did some mid-tube headers from Pacesetter, had a pretty decent sounding exhaust on it with the 3-inch cutout, and it was a 5-speed manual. So for the time it was fun, but as I got a little bit older, when I turned about, I think it was 19, I decided I wanted to keep this car forever. And with that being said, it needed a V8. But before the new motor went in, it needed a paint job pretty badly. At the time, the car was probably about 13, 14 years old, and it was navy blue metallic originally, the same color it is now, but the paint was fading and chipping in a few spots. So I went ahead and got the car repainted. Along with that, I went ahead and basically just did the Trans Am clone. I did the Trans Am spoiler, the Trans Am bumper, the side skirts, the WS6 hood. And I did actually keep the V6 bumper on it, the front bumper. That's that bumper that's on it is the V6 or Formula bumper, which honestly, I kind of like this one a little bit better. I do like the Trans Am bumper, but for some reason, I just like this one better. It's a little more simple and it makes the car a little bit different. So that's part of the reason why I kept it as well. And a few little things I did to make the car unique. With the paint job, I went ahead and got the roof painted black, which I'm not too sure if you can tell that it's actually black in this lighting here, but if you compare it right there to the blue, you can definitely tell there's a difference there. I did do, a lot of people do this to the rear bumpers where you paint the inside there black, where the cutouts are for the tailpipes there. So I went ahead and did flat black on that against the gloss blue, which I think looks pretty cool. And I went ahead and did black mirrors as well to kind of tie in with the roof there. And of course, for the cherry on top, I had to do black wheels. And I went with the American Racing Torque Thrust M's, I think they are. And I know everybody runs Torque Thrust. Shoot, I have the Torque Thrust 2s on my Camaro, but I like them a lot. Of course, I would like some welds one day, but I don't really have weld money. So go ahead and like and comment so your boy can get some welds here. And they are a staggered setup, 17 by 9 up front and 17 by 10.5 in the back. And of course, we do have a drag radial in the back, a 315, which we definitely needed to hook in this car. Once you see under the hood, you'll see why. And before we move on to the interior here, this car is actually a hardtop, which I kind of like that it's a hardtop. I have a T-top Camaro, so a hardtop is cool on this car because I feel like you don't really see a lot of them. And of course, before swapping the motor, I had to get the interior redone as well. So I went ahead and got these Corbeau A4 seats brand new in there, and got the dashboard replaced, all brand new from GM, and it's all OEM stuff. And I've had this dashboard in here for about 10 years now, and not a single crack. It's still perfect. This carpet's a little dirty because I've actually been driving this the past few days, so of course it's getting a little dirt in there. And no back seats, which that needs to be vacuumed as well, but I'm not really worried about that here at the moment. The car is a 6-speed manual. And another cool thing, from when it was a V6, you can see where it had the pattern there for the 5-speed, and of course now it's a T56. Got the Kenwood CD player, old school there, which I'll probably never change that. I don't think I want a touchscreen in this car. I want to be able to throw my Motley Crue or Poison CDs in there and just drive and jam out. Of course, like I said, the car needs to be vacuumed, but this is a pretty sweet view. I've always liked the view from here, where you see the seats, the shifter, and basically all the interior tied in together. And I do want to take a quick second to brag here about these door panels. They are uncracked, in perfect shape, and if you have one of these cars, you know they crack very easily on the Trans Ams, and I think it's pretty rare to find any of these door panels that are uncracked. So moving on to what we have under the hood here. So as I mentioned earlier, this car did start off as a 3.8 V6, and I had my fun with that, but it was time to swap it whenever I could. So went ahead and got an LS1 in there, heads cam. So it was a low mile LS1 out of a buddy of mine's car, and we went ahead and swapped it over along with the transmission. So we went ahead and did the LS1, the T56, the drive shaft. The car was swapped right. It did take us about a month to do the whole thing, probably, maybe even a little longer. But it was my buddy Mike. If you're watching this, shout out to you. Still appreciate that, man. I know it's been a while since we did this swap, but I'm still enjoying it. So we have a stock bottom end LS1 there. We got a pretty decent sized cam in it. We have some PRC heads from Texas Speed. These are the 225cc castings from Texas Speed. And it's kind of actually a funny story how I got my hands on those, because I think before tax and shipping, they were $2,400. And I had actually ordered the heads, the stage 2.5 LS6 heads from Texas Speed, which are the same ones I have on the Camaro. But we went ahead and did the motor swap. And once we did that, we did notice that we had some coolant leaking from the heads. It was actually on one of the freeze plugs on the heads. And we sent it back. We sent both heads back to Texas Speed, and they sent them back saying they were fixed, put everything back together, and they still weren't fixed. So we worked out a deal with them where for the trouble, Texas Speed went ahead and sent us these PRC 225 casting heads. And honestly, I think they're better than the heads I had originally. So minus the headache, I'm pretty happy that I did end up getting these heads. We do have some long tube headers, which I really like these headers. I know they're little dirty, little rusty, but these headers were actually on my dad's Camaro originally. And he still has his Camaro, but he actually upgraded to some Cook's 2-inch headers. And he went ahead and took these off his car, and he gave me these headers along with the exhaust. So I'm pretty grateful for that. And honestly, I don't think I'll ever change these headers just because of that reason. I probably could get the 2-inch down the road, but I really like these on there, and for sentimental reasons, of course. And to top it all off, we do have a Fast 92 intake with a Nick Williams 92mm throttle body. And the car made 447 to the wheels with 406 pounds of torque, which really is not too shabby for an LS1. And it's a fun car. I remember whenever I first got it back from the tuner after the motor swap, and going from a 200 horsepower V6, which was probably only making 180 to the wheels at the time with the headers and everything, to a 447 horsepower car. it was a big difference. And I've had some fun in this car. Like I said, I've had this car almost coming up on 14 years, and man, I have so many memories in this car, and I could never get rid of this thing. It's like I said, it's been sitting in the garage for a while, and went ahead and got the exhaust fixed, and man, I'm so glad I did that because it's been nice to be able to enjoy it again. I do plan on doing a lot more content with this car along with the Camaro. I know they're kind of the same car in a way, but they're two different builds. So if you like F-body content, then this is probably the channel for you. And moving on to suspension. So up front, we do have a tubular K member, which you probably won't be able to see from here, but got the tubular K member there from BMR. And then the car is also lowered all the way around on BMR lowering springs, 1.5 inch on some Bilstein shocks as well. One thing that I might do in the future is maybe get some coilovers just so we can get rid of a little bit of the fender gap, make the car just a tad bit lower. Really not much lower, but just a little bit. I know on my dad's Camaro, he did the Viking coilovers, and that car sits perfectly. So I wouldn't mind having a stance like that on this car, just to kind of make it sit a little bit lower. And I'm not sure how much you'll be able to see from here, but the rear suspension is pretty much all redone, all upgraded. We still have the stock 10 bolt, but we're not going to talk about that for now. Alrighty, so we are in the Camaro, about to head to the grocery store, and I'm not sure if you guys want a cold start, but we're gonna do one anyways. Damn, boys, look how good the Camaro's looking. Gotta park all the way out here because you don't want nobody bumping your doors, of course. Who said a Camaro can't be a family car? Look at this thing being a grocery getter. Oh yeah. I guess I forgot to close that last time. Look, it fits a whole 2 bags. That's pretty damn good. Gonna close her up. Look at that, family car. And we are back, guys. We got both cars out here sitting in the sun, and they're looking real good. It's kind of crazy because these are essentially the same car, but they both feel so different to drive. And I think it's mostly because of the clutches that are in them. I know in the TA here, we have an LS7 clutch. And then in the Camaro, we have a McLeod clutch that's, I think it's rated to like 700 horsepower. So, and the Camaro's a little bit bigger cam. So I think that's why the Camaro's a little bit, not necessarily difficult, but it's just, it takes a little more to drive it, if that makes sense. And look at that right there, guys. That's a beautiful view right there. Got both of them on some 315s, nice fat tire. You see the tips on the Camaro and the lack thereof on the TA. And one thing that I think is kind of funny is I feel like I have the prettiest color that came on the TAs and probably the ugliest color that came on the Camaros. I do love navy blue metallic, and I was never really a fan of pewter. Well, until I got this car. I like it on this car, of course, but that just may be biased. I don't know. Drop a comment, you guys. If you had to jump into one of these and take it out for the day, which one would it be? I think either way, you can't really make a bad choice. You got a heads cam LS1 TA there and a heads cam LS2 Camaro. How could you go wrong with that? I think personally, if I had to choose, if I was just going out for a cruise, you know, with some friends or something like that, I'd probably take the TA. The AC works a little bit better than it does in the Camaro, blows a little bit colder, and honestly, I think it's a little bit prettier than the Camaro. And don't get me wrong, I do love the Camaro, but I'll probably choose a TA as far as looks every time. And of course, we're gonna let Fernanda's Mustang have the garage for the night. We'll probably back the Camaro back in. I know we're taking the Mustang and the TA to a little car meet tomorrow, the one we usually go to, Nifty 50s, which isn't too far from the house. So we'll be nice, and we'll let her have the garage for the night. I do have to back this car out in the morning and wash it because with new wheels, you got to keep it clean, man. And I know the car did see some rain the other day, so we'll get that all cleaned up, get that all good to go for tomorrow. Alrighty, you guys, and just wanted to quickly show y'all here. This is the dyno chart back from 2018 whenever I did the motor swap and got the car tune at Power Fab here in Houston. And as you can see there, she made 447 horsepower with 406 pounds of torque. that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the TA and of course taking the Camaro out as well. So there's gonna be a lot of more TA content here on the channel and lots of F-body stuff going on. And if this video gets 1,000 likes, we'll take the Camaro and the TA out to Mexico and line them up and see who's faster. Alrighty, we will see you guys next time.